At the end of every year, I feel it's really important to reflect back and see, what went well, what didn't go so well, and how we can improve coming in that next year. That's why I felt it was so important for us this year to go to Leadership Conference. It was time for me to get some other people in the office to the level that they'd be able to help me lead the team and through what we knew we had to accomplish. One of the things that helps me kind of get up in the clouds and kind of see the practice from a different perspective is to bike ride. I like to road bike. And what that does is it gives me the opportunity to kind of get outside, get the wind going, kind of just freely think about what things we need to improve and how we can move forward. And that's sometimes when I come up with my best ideas. A century ride is, riding 100 miles, and that's comparing it kind of like the year in a practice. You're going to have your ups and downs. You have to prepare a lot. There's a lot of things you need to get ready ahead of time. It's not something you just jump into and assume that everything's going to go okay, because you really don't know what's ahead of you and what to expect. One way or another, you're going to finish the bike ride and you're going to finish the year. And when you look back on either one of those, you're going to find that there's some areas that are highly fulfilling, that you've accomplished some of the goals that you put in place. Maybe sometimes you accomplished some things that you didn't even know you were going to do. One surprise that hit us at the beginning of 2017 is that we ended up losing our top 2 back office assistants. One of the things that we found that was important is the team really got together, figured out what we needed to do, and one of the assistants that actually had gotten married and was going to be moving away was very, very integral in helping us replace herself. And she went out and found us a great assistant by the name of Misty. And Misty was a godsend. She came to us and had skills that we didn't have before in the back office. She had extended functions and had a considerable amount of experience in Invisalign, which has greatly helped our production this year.
I found Volterra Dental, honestly, I believe just at the right time in my life. And when I walked into the office, I knew at that point that that was the home for me. And I wish I would have found Dr. Leos and Volterra Dental years ago.
They're going into a century ride that within 100 miles, a lot of things are going to happen. You have to be both mentally and physically prepared. You're going to have a flat tire, you're going to run into some traffic, there's going to be a detour, road work, all kinds of things that you don't expect. And any of those things can happen anywhere along the way. It could happen at mile 27 or it could happen at mile 2. And that's what happened to us in March. Losing Taylor in the office to cancer was like a tire coming off, much worse than any flat tire. It kind of really hit us straight in the face, really affected morale initially, to where everybody was just kind of down and was having difficulty focusing on the task at hand, which was treating patients and how we were going to work through this. We didn't know how severe her cancer was. We didn't know if she was going to come back. We didn't know whether she was going to survive. There was all those unknowns that we were dealing with every day.
Finding out that Taylor had cancer was really hard for me. She would come to me and she would just talk about she felt fatigue and her feeling nauseous, and I just really thought it was just her not getting enough rest.
The week before, she would just say, "Oh, I'm so tired," would go to her car to take naps.
The office was kind of like in a dark side. That was a really big challenge, kind of having to go through a room and her not being there.
Obviously we love Taylor and it's important for us to be there for her, but we also have a lot of patients that expect us to be there for them. And we have to deal with what's going on, how we're going to move forward with this team, and how we're going to continue to grow and make this year a good year, and how we can make Taylor proud when she comes back with a better team in place than when she first left.
One Friday, we had an SI meeting. Sorry, Christina, I know you were our trainer. I was like falling asleep during that SI meeting,
Yes.
And Kelsey was like, "What is wrong with you?" And she basically dismissed it and was like, "We all are tired and nothing's wrong with you. Suck it up."
So a week later, I went on vacation, and so I wanted to see what Taylor's schedule looked like, and I noticed it was empty. So I reached out to her. Mind you, I'm in Costa Rica, and she lied and said, I'm tired from the doctor appointment. So the same thing happened the next day, and then she says, well, clearly you're not going to stop looking at the schedule, but I was diagnosed with cancer. I didn't want to ruin your vacation. And at that point, my heart sank. So when I came home that Friday night, my boyfriend and I drove out to City of Hope, and I saw Taylor, and I knew that Monday back at work was going to be really rough because it was just me trying to get through the day, people asking me how I am, and I just remember being in the sterilization room, and to our assistant, I just broke down. And so that's how that happened.
After we lost Taylor, we actually had the 2 most productive months we had had in history. Being able to reflect back on that now was pretty amazing. You couldn't have coached them to respond to the adversity as well as they responded. They just kind of came together as a team and said, we're going to make this happen. The front office had a big part in this because they had to kind of be the morale leaders, the cheerleaders. They hadn't been affected by all this. Little did we know, though, that was right around the corner.
By implementing the leadership retreats that we've attended, that SI has helped us integrate a lot of great ideas into the office. And in March, we hired Lily, which was a great addition to our office. It really, really helped us in the front desk. And by having her responsible for the relationship binder and answering the phones, it helped Ashley and I be able to focus on financial arrangements and really zoning in on getting the office to run more smoothly.
Unfortunately, about 3 or 4 months in, Lily got pretty sick and needed to go on medical leave. So Lisa and I scrambled around for a little bit. We had just got done focusing on these new roles, and then we had to revert backwards. So thankfully, we found Amy.
Coming into Volterra, I kind of had to hit the ground running. I was working front and back office. It was overwhelming at first, but we kind of found a little groove, and now it works. I just run from back to front, and I love it.
By adding Amy was really great because not only did she come into the office with back office experience, she has done such a great job taking a lot of responsibility and really at the whim just, hey, we need you here, we need you there, and she's just really doing a great job at that.
In August, we found out that Taylor was in full remission. That was truly an answer to our prayers. What that's done for the team, it's just really helped galvanize us. It's really helped show us that we can pretty much get through anything.
This year we learned that the greatest tragedies and the hardest times can result in the greatest accomplishments.
We're so happy with everybody in the office. We all treat each other like families. So I definitely feel we're going towards the right direction. And it also shows in our numbers and our office morale.
We've learned that no matter how much we think we're prepared, nobody is immune to hardships.
I am so confident and proud of the team that we have in place right now. When I say this, I mean this 100%, that it is the best team in the 30 plus years that I've been in practice that I've ever had. Each one of them are able to and willing to take on additional responsibilities. Moving towards 2018, I see no reason why we can't handle anything that's thrown at us, not only in our professional lives, but hopefully all this stuff also helps handle things that hit us in our personal lives.
2017 was our big year.
2018 will be our biggest year yet!
Hi, my name is Taylor Gaines. I am a hygienist at Volterra Dental, and I was diagnosed with leukemia on May 2nd, and I am currently in remission, but it was a long way to get there, and I'm just excited and hopeful that my dental office is behind me and always has my back, and is here to walk before cause for me.